Hey everybody, welcome back to Kimmel's Irish Pub. We got a special segment for you today. This is a little different than just a normal movie review. Got Dominic back with me again. This is like a two-part series, so we didn't change from the last movie review, but we're back. And it was actually Dominic's idea, so I have to give him credit where credit is due. But we're going to talk about the top 2023 movies, our top 7, because we couldn't narrow it down to 5, and then our bottom 7. So what are the worst films that we saw that were created in 2023? Because some of them we see that were created in other years. So these are films created in 2023, right, Dominic?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Anything to add?
No, thank you for the opportunity. I mean, it was my idea, but you produced and facilitated it. So credit where credit is due. I mean, thanks for that. That's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. No problem. Yeah. So we're going to go back and forth. We're going to start from the bottom up. We're going to talk about the top 7 first, but we're going to start at number 7, go upwards. I'll start. Dominic will go second. We'll go on all the way until we reach number 1, and then we'll switch it back and we'll do the worst films in the same manner. Now, with that being said, I'm going to do a quick plug because I think it's so valuable. I found this on TikTok. For those of you who are movie lovers like us, check out Letterboxd, letterboxd.com. And it allows you to do a lot more than IMDb. Specifically, in this case, I'm able to sort all the movies that I've watched that were released in 2023 and sort them by ratings. So it was very helpful. So I'm not getting paid. It's a free service. You can buy the premium service and stuff like that, whatever. I don't get sponsored or anything like that, but I just found it so helpful when putting this together. So I wanted to share it with everybody. So check it out if you get a chance. But now for my number 7 of the top 7 movies, and I don't know how fair this is. I mean, this is my top 7, right? So the number 7 movie in 2023 is The Flash for me, and it's simply because I'm a big DC fanatic. That was the DC movie of the year that came out. It's pretty much, well, besides Aquaman 2, will be the last of the Snyderverse, right? And it'll probably be the last of Ezra Miller's, depiction of Flash. I don't think he'll do anymore. It looks like they're recasting everybody. And it wasn't without fault. Don't get me wrong. There was a lot of pieces of the movie that I didn't really enjoy, and I have a full review, so I'm not going to do the whole thing right now. You can go check my full review. But it did touch on a lot of the origin stuff. It touched on what I really liked. If you haven't seen it, I hope you have by now. The references as he goes throughout time and sees other Supermans, the other Batmans, and all that kind of stuff. So I'm not a big fan of time travel, but that happens a lot with Flashpoint, with Flash. But it gives us an opportunity to really enjoy all the other actors who played a superhero in the DC world some form or fashion. So I really liked that aspect of it. And again, just being a big DC fan, I had it in my top 7, right at number 7.
Yeah. All right, thank you, Jeff. My number 7 for the best films of 23, the Super Mario Brothers movie. I mean, I didn't think it was like high art. I didn't think it was like Toy Story or Shrek levels of greatness, but it was just fun. I mean, if you most people our age, or even younger people grew up with Mario, and Mario's been in our living room for like forever. So if you watch the movie, it was better than it really deserved to be. I mean, it's Mario. They could have just done a half-assed job, but it was entertaining. Entertaining is a word that comes to mind. Like it's Bowser. I really like Princess Peach a lot. Of course, everyone loves Princess Peach. Anna Taylor-Joy as Princess Peach, and a lot of the other folks that were in it. They just seemed like they had a great time. I think that they could make improvements on the sequel. I think it could maybe get a little deeper, a little bit more nuanced. It was a little bit just maybe they could have gone a little bit further at that. That seemed to be the main critique. But in general, it was hard to watch. I actually saw it in movie theaters with another movie. It was hard to see it and walk out and just go thumbs down. That stunk because you walked out with a smile on your face no matter which way you sliced the pie. And the final battle at the end and everything, it was just for a movie like that, general audiences, a father could go with the son or the daughters, and everyone could walk out smiling. And isn't that what movies are at the end of the day? So it's definitely on Peacock now. Maybe it'll move to another service whenever. But the Super Mario Brothers movie was worth an hour and 40 minutes of your time, or however long exactly.
Yeah.
Not too shabby.
That's awesome. That's a great point. I think it's on Netflix too. If you have Netflix, my son loves it. He's going to be disappointed. Spoiler alert: it's not in my top seven. Probably should have been.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. So tomorrow.
All right. Okay. So on to my number six. Now, again, those of you who might watch my channel know that I occasionally like to watch some faith-based films. So a
You do.
faith-based film made in 2023 cracked the top seven. The movie's called The Hill. So The Hill is about a baseball player who struggles with a physical disability later on. He's going to become like a Major League Baseball player. But of course, he gets hurt, bad things happen, so on and so forth. I again won't go through the whole thing. Check out the review if you want. It stars Dennis Quaid in it, who I see in a lot of different faith-based movies every now and again. But it's a really good, any of those movies are usually feel good, make you restore your hope in faith or, whatever, continue to move forward. And, that one, and anything with sports, if I watch a faith-based movie and it has sports in it, I'm going to love it more than likely. And this one has both of those in it. So, and it's based on a true story. So add those three elements together. Great movie.
Thank you. I actually wrote that down. I did not see that. I'm probably watched a review on it, but I don't really remember. But I mean, who doesn't love Dennis Quaid? I mean, maybe give it a C. I wrote that one down.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. All right, so best films of 2023, number 6. I saw this one pretty recently, and I think you reviewed this. I think you like this from what I recall. I'm a horror movie guy. Some of these lists, horror movie. Thanksgiving. I really like Thanksgiving, the whole thing. It was so stupid. It was stupid fun. It was silly. Everyone in the movie kind of knew it was silly. I mean, it might as well have been called, I Know What You Did Last Summer, but Thanksgiving version. I mean, because you said that, but it's so true. How over the top the killer was at the end, jumping around and stuff. I don't want to say who the killer was, even though it was kind of obvious, but it was just fun. It was stupid and stupid fun. Like I watch it every year, sort of thing. I can't wait for the sequel. And I actually saw that in the movie theater also. So I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it.
We need more Thanksgiving.
Fun. It's blocky fun.
Yeah, good. That's a good one. Great. All right. Good one there. All right. Now mine, so we're at 7, 6, 5. Number 5 for me. Tough movie to watch. Came out with a lot of controversy. There was a lot of controversy around this movie. Really, they hyped it up a lot. They wanted everybody to go see this. But I have it rated as my number 5 movie for this year, and that's Sound of Freedom. So the Sound of Freedom is the movie about Jim Cavill and the human trafficking, the child trafficking movie. So which brings to light everything that's going on around in the world, and what people are doing to try and stop it. And it's edge of your seat kind of, not excitement, but you're worried about what's going to happen, and things are happening, and it's just like, you get right now I got chills on my arms just thinking about that movie as you get towards the end and everything that was going on. So definitely a great film. If you haven't seen it, go check it out, but know that it comes with a caution because it's a tough subject to watch. I mean, children being kidnapped and sold into slavery is not a fun movie to watch, but that there's people out there, and that's what this movie is about, trying to protect that and stop that, and and make people aware that it's actually happening. It's just not fabricated. So Sounds of Freedom was number 5 for me.
When you did your review on Sounds of Freedom, and I listened to all your reviews, but I remember those ones specifically, you were speaking as if it hit you on a profound level. I remember that just felt a little different. I mean, in kind of a good way. All your reviews are great, but that seems like that hit you right in your heart when you did your review on that. I remember that.
Yeah. Being a parent, and you think about that, if that were to happen to my children, ugh. So
yeah, that has to be
good movie.
I gotta watch that. That sounds like it'll be tough to watch, but I'll watch it. All right, so I'm on number 5. My number 5 was 65, starring Adam Driver. 65. That was just to remind you, because it was kind of a little bit lost in the shuffles. He was like from the future, and he went back to the past in a sense. He was fighting dinosaurs, and there was a little girl in it. Now, it wasn't like the most amazing movie in the world, but I like Adam, you know, I'm a big Adam Driver guy. And I think that the concept I like more than the actual execution, like someone from the future going back to the past with like guns and stuff. It was like I don't know if he was a war veteran, but he certainly looks like one. I know he is in real life to like fight dinosaurs and stuff. I just like the idea. I just thought it was a really cool idea. In the last like maybe 20 minutes, I liked, even though it dragged a little bit, it was a little, you know, it was a little dull, but I don't know, something about it I just liked. I thought it was entertaining to me. Maybe I watched it at home, so my expectations were lower, but I think it's worth to see. It's on Netflix. It kind of fell off the top list real fast, but I kind of liked it. Thought it was worth to see. 65, number
Yeah.
five.
And he has a daughter in that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, yeah, that was a good one. I remember that one. That's good. It's pretty neat. I think I'm just thinking about like right now, we don't have any similarities in our list. So people are getting like the top 14 films of the year. You know what I mean?
That's
Which is
good.
great.
Different
Yeah.
different strokes for different folks.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right. So we're at number 4, right? For me, I think, right? So
Yeah.
number 4 for me, you'll get a kick out of this one, I think, because it has Shailene Woodley in it. So the movie's called Dumb Money, and it's about the GameStop movement. So it's based on a true story. Again, obviously, I like stuff based on a true story, and this is how, you know, people on Reddit basically drove the price of the GameStop stock, and they all became rich because of it. And it's just you know, I love stuff based on true story that I know a little bit about, but not all the details. And this gives you all the behind the scenes stuff of how it happened, and you know, and it brings great characters in that you know, who are very great actors in to play the characters. Paul Dano was in it, Pete Davidson, Seth Rogen. You know, there's a lot of good people, but it was just a great movie to watch, just to see how, you know, people can. There's so many smart people out there, right? And I think about it all the time, how smart people are, and what they do. And this was just another great example of somebody who's not very, they're not like, you know, a doctor or a brain surgeon or whatever, but they're smart in their own way, and they're able to figure out how to take down our, you know, our stock market system, and change it for their benefit. So really good movie there.
I did not catch that, but yeah, I mean, I like Shailene Woodley. Some of the others that you mentioned, Paul Dano is definitely a great actor. Some of the others, and that GameStop thing, it kind of just there was a news story about it, then it kind of disappeared. I mean, people stopped talking about that real fast. That was something that people should be aware of.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I believe I'm on number four of the best films of 23, and my number four, Saw X. Saw X.
Saw
I really
X,
liked
okay.
it. Yeah. I'm an old fan of the franchise from so many years ago, 20 years ago. I saw the original. And you know, Tobin Bell is an 81-year-old man. I mean, for an 81-year-old man to run around and jump around like that and run up the stairs and down the stairs and all this, and they kind of changed him from a sympathetic villain to like an anti-hero for a movie that kind of has been for a franchise that's been lagging for a while to all of a sudden have this great movie 10 installments in is pretty laudable. And they had the old crew together, Tobin Bell, Sweeney Smith and all them, you know, Amanda and Jigsaw back at their old tricks, and a new villain for them to fight, kind of. I forgot her name, but a lot of people really liked it. And I mean, it's like this is the first time you're discovering the franchise. Well, it came out like 20 years ago. Some young people, I found out this new movie great, Saw 10. I'm like, well, I saw 1 like 20 years ago when you weren't even born. But I mean, I just liked it. I'm a horror guy, so I just liked it. Saw
Yeah.
10.
Yeah, I
Saw
tell you
X.
what, I didn't know he was 81, so that's a great point. That's some facts.
81 years old, running around doing that, terrorizing people in the movies.
Yeah. And the other thing too that I liked about it, like the other Saw installments were kind of a little repetitive in the sense this one takes you back in between Saw 1 and Saw 2. It's the in between there, so it goes backwards. And I thought that was a pretty neat aspect to bring. And like you said, it brought new people into the movies.
That's a good point. Yeah, they really threw some freshness into it. 10 installments in.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
I think I'm on 3, right? Yep, I'm on my top 3 here of my top 7 movies of 2023, and this is a recent one, and it might be catching a theme here, because it's not based on a true story. But it was a lot of fun to watch. This one has Ethan Hawke, Julia Roberts in it. I don't know how you say his name. Mahershala Ali is in it. Kevin Bacon's in it. So this one is Leave the World Behind. So the commonality is the conspiracy behind everything, just like Sounds of Freedom. So this was just released. Some of the aspects I love is it's just out on Netflix. You don't have to go to movies. You have Netflix, boom, it's right there. It's got great acting in it, got great characters in it. And I just loved it. I thought it was really original. And there's all these Easter eggs in it that got people in crazy frenzies, trying to figure everything out. And it's based on a book. And Obama evidently read that book. It's one of his must-read books, and he was part of the production. He was like a executive producer on the film, so heavily involved. So people are thinking it's a message to all of us. But I just thought it was a great, apocalyptic type movie that was new and original, and I enjoyed it. I loved it. A lot of people don't like the ending of the movie. I was calling it from my seat, like they should end it right now. They should, and they did. And I was like, yes, that's awesome. So yeah, Leave the World Behind. Definitely top 3. Surprised it's not in the number 1 for me, but that's the letterbox is telling me it's number 3. So
I'm gonna be honest. I gave it an hour and I just couldn't get into it. And you're the second person to tell me give it a second chance or give it a second try. I just couldn't get past the like kind of Diet Coke M. Night Shyamalan directing style and all this.
yeah.
But maybe I'll give it a try again. You're the second person to tell me, oh, that was the favorite one of 2023. So maybe this will influence me to tap it on Netflix again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely had the M. Night Shyamalan feel to it for sure.
Right. Yeah. So I believe I'm up to number 3. Now, again, I think I might have said it's not like I'm choosing like the most high art movies or like Oscar-worthy movies, but I'm a horror guy and I really did enjoy Saw 6. I mean, I'm a Jenna Ortega fan. I'm a fan of some of the other folks in the movie. I mean, the fight some of it was so ridiculous at the end. They got stabbed like 10 times, but they're still alive. And it's a little bit of a spoiler, but the battle at the end in the movie theater with Jenna Ortega and Melissa Barella and you probably like this guy, but what's his name? Dermot Mulroney, how ridiculously over the top he was a ridiculous villain at the end, how over the top he became. It was like a cartoon. The last like 15 minutes were like a cartoon fighting in the movie theater against Dermot Mulroney and his son and daughter or whatever. And of course, I'm a Kirby fan from the franchise. Hayden, I mean, I kind of have a crush on her. So who's not going to like her? It's kind of a shame that the whole Saw franchise is falling apart now, that the 2 girls have quit and the director's quitting. But I enjoyed Saw 6. Excuse me, Scream 6. So yeah, I mean, if you're a Scream guy, give it a try.
Yeah, I agree. I enjoyed it. That's one of the films I rarely watch them twice because I'm watching a new movie every night. But I was on a plane, and going through the free movies that they give you on a plane, I picked that one out and that was it's probably one that I watched twice this year. So I did enjoy that a lot. I liked all the aspects that you said. So and I know, and it's funny, like they're making the next one, but they can't make schedules work. It's like, how could you not make the schedules work for Jenna Ortega? And I understand the controversy with the Melissa character and stuff like that, whatever. I'm not taking sides or anything like that, but they got to figure that out. You can't continue on with a whole new cast. That just
It'll be tough.
Yeah. Oh, cool. All right, we're at the top 2. So I have to say I kind of not broke the rules, but again, it's the rankings that I've been given, and I have to agree. I was really surprised that I really liked this movie and that it came out on top as number 2 for me. And now it didn't win an Oscar yet, but it might. Cillian Murphy, Emily Blunt, Matt Damon, Florence Pugh. I mean, they're all in it. So how could you not like Oppenheimer? I'm not a guy who enjoys like history movies really all that much. And I didn't think I'd really be entertained. I thought it was going to be dry and boring, but for some reason I was captivated the entire time. Obviously, it's riddled with great actors, that you really enjoy, and a lot of flashbacks that kind of get you confused a little bit, but somehow I was able to stay engaged and follow it along all the way to the end, and it ended up as number 2 for me.
Yeah, I remember when you did your review on that. I mean, you really seem to like it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't seen it yet. I mean, I don't think it's not free when it comes free Netflix or one of those. I give it a try. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's yes, the great characters and the great story, but it seemed a little long and maybe a little drab or dull. I mean, it's like a period piece. That's kind of why I shied away. But when it's free, I mean, I should really give it a try when it's free.
Yeah, they were the same concerns I had, so maybe you'll like it as well as I did. But I was thinking it was gonna be drab and long, and so. But yeah, it was worth
Everyone
it.
seems to like it. So I think that now it's my turn for my number two best film of 23. And some people might not know this came out in 23 because it came out like in January 2023. So the very beginning. But I gotta tell you, I get a real kick out of Megan. I think this is when we talked last time. It was about a year ago. The female robot, jumping around and dancing around and stuff, running around killing people like Chucky style, and the whole cast and how ridiculous it was and like kind of cartoony it was. But also when when they watch Megan sing and they were watching her and they're like, oh, the CEO says yes, we have to green light this. And at the end, how she could control the internet and kind of control technology and electronics in a way, and she will return for Megan version 2.0, and just the whole thing, like a new horror icon has come out, and people loved it because it was so ridiculous, and
Yeah.
I was one of those people.
No, it's great. No, I agree. I thought that was a great film, and I like how when in movies like this where they tie it to something recent, like the whole Chat GPT and AI and everything, coming artificial intelligence, and they're like, okay, let's make a movie about how they're gonna kill us all. You know what I mean? So yeah, no,
Great.
that's a good one.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm on my number one here. And again, I explained to everybody how we got here. Just loaded them into letterbox.com and was surprised. But this, again, a great cast in this one: Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, Jason Bateman, Viola Davis, Chris Tucker. And I know why I liked it a lot. The movie's called Air. So it's the story of, Air Jordan, Michael Jordan, and his sneaker and Nike, and how they came to, the whole backstory of Nike was not Nike until this happened, like they weren't even, I think, in the top three sneaker, companies until they were able to start making these Air Jordans and signing Michael Jordan to a contract. And it's the whole backstory of all that. And it was just very entertaining. I'm a Michael Jordan fan. I have a pair of Jordans, not the classics. I'd like to get classics. I actually, for Christmas, I got Air Jordan golf shoes, so I'm excited to wear them in the summer. But he's my favorite basketball player. Went to North Carolina. I love the Bulls, followed him everywhere. So to see this story, and when the Air Jordans came out, and to see this whole background done with that cast, was just, I rated it so high. So it ended up at number one. Really enjoyed it. It was released on Amazon Prime too. So another one of those movies that didn't just go right to the theater, it came home too. So I love those types of things. So you can see them right away. So yeah, so that one was my top movie for 2023 based on Letterboxd.
I'm a little surprised. To tell you the truth, I did not see that. It did look similar. It looked a little long and like a documentary about air. I mean, I love Michael Jordan. We all love him, but it barely like said that was what it's about. But I'm a little bit surprised when you gave that review on Kimmel Irish Pub. I don't remember you like. I remember you liking it, but I don't remember you saying, "Oh, this is amazing." But I did not see that. Maybe I should see that. Yes, the cast sounds great. Maybe I should see that.
Yeah.
I'm glad you loved it. That's what movies are about. So I believe now it's time for me to reveal my best film of 2023. And I actually saw this in theaters. I'm a fan of the franchise. I think that pretty much everybody on the face of planet Earth is a fan of the franchise. John Wick Chapter 4,
Okay.
Keanu Reeves. I just liked it. I mean, the whole thing, John Wick, going around fighting people. And I don't really want to spoil the ending, but it turned out that will John Wick return? Well, the door is a little bit open, but we don't know for sure. I mean, I kind of cried at the very end, which is kind of doesn't usually happen in a movie like that. But Keanu Reeves has been doing this for kind of a long time, and I think that this is probably maybe the best John Wick movie that was released, except for maybe the first one because it was totally fresh at that time. But I don't know. It was touching. It was long in a good way. The fighting scenes were great. Some of the other folks that were in it, Donnie Yang, of course, the manager of the hotel and everything. Ian McShane is what I meant to say. Winston, I don't know, I just liked it. I saw it in the movie theater. It was a good day. As a matter of fact, I saw John Wick followed by Super Mario Brothers just as a double feature one day. So sometimes it's about how you feel in the movie theater. So I think that was probably out of 2023 a movie that I liked the most. Old John Wick Chapter 4.
Yeah, no, that's great. And it's funny you say that. I think about all my movies that I watch. I mean, for the most part, I did see Super Mario Brothers in the theater with my son, but other than that, everything else I saw at home. And I think John Wick is probably better in the theater than it is at home. You know what I mean? And the way it makes you feel, absolutely. And the one guy I was telling you about, the guy I got letterbox from on TikTok, he was going through his top, and he's like, "You either wick or you don't wick," and he's like, "I wick," So he had it in his top 3 too. So easily could be in the top 7 for me. It's just the way the letterbox works, to be honest. So cool. Well, there you go. There's our top 7 from Dominic and I of 2023 films. Let me reshuffle the deck here, and we'll get into our top, I guess, bottom 7, right? Bottom
Worst.
7.
Think is.
Yeah. 2023 films.